The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, Lord.
Jesus said to his disciples, "As it was in the days of Noah, so it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. In those days before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, up to the day that Noah entered the ark. They did not know until the flood came and carried them all away. So will it be also at the coming of the Son of Man. Two will be out in the field, one will be taken and one will be left. Two women will be grinding at the mill, one will be taken and one will be left. Therefore stay awake, for you do not know on which day your Lord will come. Be sure of this. If the master of the house had known the hour of night when the thief was coming, he would have stayed awake and not let his house be broken into. So too, you also must be prepared, for at an hour you do not expect the Son of Man will come." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Stay awake. Stay awake. At least stay awake during my homily. This gospel passage, as we begin Advent, as we begin a new liturgical year, is one of those that really has so many different pieces that I could dive into. It's several different things come to my mind. One of them, worth noting, at least for Catholics to be aware of, sometimes you've heard of the thing called the rapture, where this belief that all of the faithful Christians will suddenly disappear. Maybe they'll leave their clothes here and you just find a pile of clothes where they were. First off, that's not a Catholic teaching. It's not a Catholic belief. That's from our Protestant brothers and sisters. But this is one of those passages that they use to talk about that. This is where that thought comes from. Two men will be out in the field, one will be taken and one will be left. Two women will be grinding at the mill, one will be taken and one will be left. Now, to me, when I hear that, I just simply hear two people walking down the street together. One has a heart attack. One of them is taken, one of them is left. A married couple sleeping in bed at night. They wake up in the morning. One wakes up and the other one doesn't. One has been taken, one has been left. We never know when the end will come. So that's one idea that comes out of this. Then I have be sure of this. If the master of the house had known the hour of night when the thief was coming, he would have stayed awake and not let his house be broken into. So too you also must be prepared. It makes me think of a bumper sticker that's out there that says, "Jesus is coming, quick, everyone look busy." There's a lot of truth to that bumper sticker, honestly. Like we tend to procrastinate. We like to put things off. We like to leave things for later. We like to all get to that eventually. And our faith life is no different. We put things off to the last minute. Right? We can think of many times when we were in college, how we would cram it till 3 a.m. for that test, as opposed to actually paying attention in class throughout the entire semester. But that's not the best way to live life, because we just don't know when the final exam is. We need to always be ready. So the Advent season is a season for us to be prepared for Christ to come. Christ to come at the end of the world, Christ to come at the end of our life, and also to prepare for celebrating Christ at Christmas, the birth of Christ. I find it wonderful to have the beginning of Advent at the end of the week that we just had with two great social celebrations, two great civic celebrations, Thanksgiving and Black Friday. Thanksgiving, a day where we celebrate all the good blessings that we have, followed by Black Friday, where we look for all the blessings we don't have. And we kill people trying to get to them. It's interesting to look at these two things because honestly, it points to the two ways in which people get ready for Christmas. you have Thanksgiving and Black Friday. Both of them reflect getting ready for Christmas in a certain sense. I'll start with Black Friday. Black Friday, for many people, begins the Christmas shopping season. This begins, I have to get all the things I need for Christmas. I need to get all the Christmas decorations. We need to go out and chop down the Christmas tree. We need to go out and we need to set up the Christmas tree. We need to hang all the ornaments. We have to do all the physical preparation. And if you look at Black Friday and all that happens with it, it's like, what in the world are we doing? Is it worth 4 hours of your time to get $10 off on a TV? Is it worth 4 hours of not being with your family to make sure that you get $20 off the newest gadget? What is it we're doing? Well, we're getting ready for Christmas. Are we? Are we really, when we get caught up in, oh, we have to get this box out, we have to get that box out. We have all the family homes, so we'll use all of them as laborers to make sure that we get all the decorations out in one weekend. Is this really getting us ready for Christmas? And then we think about Thanksgiving. What happens at Thanksgiving? We stop. Okay, maybe the cooking and the dishes don't. But at least for the meal, we stop. We stop and we try to at least take a moment and be thankful. Thank you, Lord, for all that you've given us. Thank you, Lord, for the people that you've placed in our lives. Thank you, Lord, for this meal in front of us. Thank you, Lord, for the time to gather as family. Thank you, Lord, for the time to gather as family, even if it's a family in grief. Thank you that those of us that can gather are gathered here. A grateful heart is probably a much better way to prepare for Christmas than all the material things. And some people say, well, I have to get the best present for somebody. Does the best present mean the lowest price? Sometimes, yes. It's much more meaningful. You can say to somebody, I got a great deal on Black Friday. I spent 4 hours of my life and got you this for $10 less or 50% off. Or you can say, I didn't have much to spend, but this is something that meant a lot for me because you mean a lot to me. It doesn't take as much time. Sometimes it doesn't take as much money, but it means a lot more. And maybe I could use that time for something better. Maybe I could use that time that I would have stressed out decorating to call a friend and apologize for something. Maybe I could use that time to just talk to someone who I haven't talked to in a long while. Maybe I could use that time to spend an hour in prayer. I can spend an hour standing in a line waiting to check out because I decided to go and buy everything on the same day everybody else is trying to buy things. Or I can spend an hour in prayer and go shopping around midnight when nobody is there on a Wednesday. Sometimes when we get caught up in this, what society thinks is preparing for Christmas, we really miss out on really preparing for Christmas. As we enter into Advent and we prepare for the coming of Christ, may we take this time to really say, thank you, Lord. Thank you for all that you've given me. Thank you, Lord, for each day of my life. May we find the little ways to build up a grateful heart so that we can really enter into Christmas. Not worried about the decorations, not worried about the gifts, not worried about the food, but just concerned with how am I doing at loving God and my neighbor the way Christ calls me to. Thank you, Lord, for coming as a little child in calling on me to see you in all the little things.